Now let's get back to the phones. We've got Thomas holding for us from Dublin. Hi, Thomas.
Hi.
And what is your question for us tonight?
Okay. I was seen at a local ER here in Dublin. Had swelling in my arm, and they did an ultrasound. My arm was hurting and everything. They came back and told me that they could not find anything. All my blood work was okay. That it must be something age-related. Told me to take 2 800-milligram ibuprofen, where it said clearly in my chart that I could not have that. And we had to remind them of that. So they said, oh, then take 2 Benadryl, and maybe it'll be better in the morning. Well, I got up the next day. It had swollen twice the size, and I was in excruciating pain. My wife transported me to an emergency room in Macon. They did the exact same test. They found a blood clot that had gotten into my arm, an extensive blood clot in my arm that had made its way into my lungs. I had to stay for 3 days in the hospital in Macon on drips. My question is, would I have a case for negligence against the ER in Dublin?
Barrett, you want to?
Well, really the answer to your question is possibly. And like we talked about before the break, the duty of care for ERs is a lot lower. So that's always an issue that we have to encounter every time we get a case like this. So we have to weigh, do we think the case is, do we think we could potentially pursue that because of that issue? So really, we probably have to sit down with you and go through all the facts of the case and really talk about exactly what went on, and then we could probably help you determine whether you would have a case against the ER or not. Mike, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, well, I agree with that. Basically, it comes down to, I think, recklessness is what you got to show, which used to be a lot higher standard to show, thanks to Mr. B.J. Servan and some other fine lawyers in Georgia. But I know B.J. was in on that too. Got the courts to recognize, like, listen, it's not impossible to sue ERs if there is a basically they were interpreting it as it had to be almost intentional, which is silly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Here it sounds like they did provide some care. They did provide an ultrasound. It sounds like it was lousy care.
Yeah.
But whether it would meet that standard on the ER might be tricky, but certainly worth having a lawyer look at. But
yeah, absolutely.
it sounds like the consequences were bad enough. Thank goodness. They could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, I'm glad you and your wife went to Macon and got a second opinion and
Absolutely.
figured that out before it could have gotten a lot worse. So.
Yeah.